Hello. Uh, that timer is very, very long. Good God. Oh wait, click the right scene. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing today. Best part about the new schedule is I said that I would stick to it regardless of whether I know what I'm doing or not. So I don't know what I'm doing today. I was thinking some game dev stuff. Just seems more suitable and fun. Questions there, great. Open. Do the thing. Okay. Okay, let's go and get some docs open. Let's do this. Rename that. Part of getting set up should have been updating things. Okay, I'm happy that didn't open on my other screen because that is completely white and I don't want to flashbang anyone. Question, how did they... Oh no, they've changed where the options are. No. Do this to... There we go. So, I want to probably start working on a game for itch. Yes, I would like to just go and get a game out on itch within like the next month, you know? So, ooh. Voter is overloaded. It's angry at me. Oh well. Yeah, I'm more or less just trying to figure out what type of game I would like to do for that. It's also a good test for streaming and recording at the same time and seeing if my computer likes to explode. Something. Ah. There we go. Hi. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Or at least I don't know what idea I want to come up with for this. I'm thinking something small, something one, maybe two mechanics. Probably stick with 2D because it's easier to handle, especially on itch. Let's so I can remember this in the future. Now let's just start getting some random headers in, yeah? Headers are always fun. Okay. Let's go on further and do. Ooh. And now I need to fill these out. So. First and simplest thing to always end up going with is usually like a 2D platformer, like puzzle game of some sort. Kind of think of a farming game. Like something cute and small. Let's do that. So mechanics we're going to need for a farming game is from a very simplistic standpoint is planting. So crop management. Learning how to spell is going to be a big part of this. So crop management, we're going to want Don't want to do any random generation this time. Every time I do a farming game, I always end up adding random generation, and then the scope creep becomes huge. That becomes a nightmare. Like, actually, no, thinking about this, I'm going to add this. Yeah. So, very dumb thing that you can do with something like this is you can grab a noise layer and just overlay it on whatever tile setup you have, and it'll just basically use the values on that to generate the fertility of the tiles that we could go for. That way, certain tiles could be better or worse at certain crops, maybe. Let's do this. So, crop management, we're going to need to have a way of harvesting and selling these things. And the next question is, how do I want to go about actually playing this? So is this going to be you are controlling a character? Are you just a floating god that like does tiles? It'll be an interesting one. Kind of like an incremental game. That means we'll probably need to have some sort of time system for this as well. I mean, time systems are relatively easy to make. Beginning. Edge. Oh, I'm forgetting an E. Okay. Hmm. Inventory. Inventory is definitely something that needs to be added. Also, Classy, hi, how you doing? Yeah, no, it definitely is something that would be a good idea. Let's do that. We'll add inventory in. Right now, I'm trying to decide whether I want to do like a top-down thing, right? Where you are bird's eye perspective, looking down on like a little farm, and you can just left-click tiles and things like that, and keep animals going and some basic farming stuff going, rather than having like Stardew Valley style moving around as a character. Inventory system is going to be necessary regardless. That's actually a good point. It's not like the word cozy. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm familiar with Stardew Valley. Yeah, I think everybody's familiar with Stardew Valley at this point. Such an incredibly good game. Designed by one person, just absolutely incredible. Okay, that's going to bother me. Fine. No. Let's just fill out this real quick. That pretty much handles tools. Okay. Thank you for the follow over on Twitch. I won't lie, I completely forgot I had Twitch going. Ah. Thank you. Ah, that's a point. I forgot to do something on Twitch. Wow, I was yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's get my Twitch stream updated. I completely forgot about that. I am getting better at this, I swear. So, yeah, I'm thinking top down. Like top down floaty rather than top down with a character. What are those games called? They are like the god simulators? Oh. Yes? I don't know. Ah, actually, if I wanted to, no. This is my issue. I always end up getting into this. Oh, I could make this 3D. No, we are not doing Blender. If I want this released within like a month or two, we are not doing Blender. No, welcome back, hon. Let's do some animal management as well. I will remember the E. Okay, that's more or less everything that I'm going to want from a very baseline, like vertical slice of this. So let's do a really quick how the players are supposed to like do things basically. So we'll go, player is acting as a deity running a farm. They have to grow crops and animals, etc. There we go. Quick one-line breakdown there. So the incremental part of this is going to be the more interesting part for me to end, because I'm going to need to make sure we have some form of time linking. I'm thinking I'm just going to do it through operating system time. Yeah, it could be modified, but that's okay. If people want to modify it and do whatever, they can do that. Not online. There is no negative that can happen from that, I don't think. Am I forgetting anything? Don't think I am. We'll just give it a rough title for Deity Farming Simulator. I don't know. There you go. It's a really quick game design document done. So, with that in mind, I need to go and do two things. First, I need to go and see if Godot needs to be updated at all. The 4.3, weather system seasons effects on the environment. Yes, no, those are incredible things to add. As of right now, I want to keep the scope small, right? I want to keep it very, very small. My overall plan with something like this is these are the basic raw mechanics of a game. Like, hey, you can harvest and sell things, got some basic time management. Weather systems, seasons, effects, and things like that actually become very easy to implement after you have a time management system designed. So that is definitely something I would like to add to it. I'll add it down onto the bullet point list, but it's definitely something that's going to be added as development goes. I may end up reworking quite a few things to get it to function the way I want it to. Yeah, I have a feeling I know how I'd implement that. Directly on the tiles in the tile map layer, or add them. So this is where you can do some interesting things in Godot. You can have racist. With the new tile map layer system, you can have one tile map layer that's controlling all of the ground stuff, right? Actually treating it as layers. You have all of the ground stuff, and then you have on top of that a second layer where you can put all of your crops and things like that. That way, all you have to really do is record the positioning of the tiles themselves and store two different types of tile data, basically. That way you can save it for saving load systems and a bunch of other things. Now, the thing that I usually end up doing especially for a small game, is to just entityify things, right? So you have your tiles, which will contain data for each tile, right? And then you will have a entity, which will be this is custom data stuff. I don't know what's better. It really depends. If you want to make a game like this and you want to make a very large scale game, then you're going to want a proper. Can't really say that either. I've done data management with tiles in some very, very fun and dumb ways in the past with Godot, going from using tile data like you would or are supposed to use tile data in Godot to literally creating my own data management grid that layers on top of tiles and then having that store all of the data that's necessary. Now that is good. The crop manager, which deals with position, etc. Fire sprites. Yeah, no, that's pretty much one of the best ways of going about it. It's pretty much simple and efficient. The only time that starts to become a problem is when you are rendering, I don't know, 200, 300,000 sprites all at once, and they're all doing processing calls and things like that, which, realistically speaking, you should never get to that point. Like, I don't technically think you should get to that point, and if you do, then you should look into, like, sprite batching in the sense of creating, I don't know, like, if one sprite takes up 200,000, yeah, I don't think so there. But yeah, the easy way of fixing that is going, if you have one sprite and it takes up one tile and you want 200,000 of those, well, best thing you can do is make one sprite that takes up 4 tiles or 10 tiles, and it's just copy pasted that sprite over and over and over again, and then just space them correctly. That way you're cutting down on the amount of sprites you need by a lot, and it becomes less and less of a problem. And you can do that dynamically. You just have to create the art, which once again is somewhat simple. Yeah, like, I don't know, farming games are very, I want to say simple, but they're not. There is a lot of really complex data stuff that you actually have to kind of understand, or at least get used to. Get used to is probably the better word there, because I don't know, it's logically it's simple. Illogically, it's a pain in the ass. Actually, that reminds me, I have. Is it on Dev 4 or 3? Let's find out. This is going to get really grumpy with me, isn't it? Because I think I did this in C#. That's a point. I think I did this in C#. Alright, Ryder, come open. Yep, this is all in C#. Yeah, this is where the fun begins. Yeah, let me launch this to show you what I was gonna show real quick. Something really dumb that I was working on a long time ago. Like, I made a quick little time management system. So it's my own time frame rather than going based off of Godot. I struggle a lot with inventory. Or I think this is where I don't know, a really like big key concept with a lot of this is just going what's data, what's visual, right? A lot of the time you just need ways of representing data, like separating and representing your data, and then you can represent them on screen however you want. That's the wrong thing. Spider? You. Spider takes a long time. Great IDE to be used with Godot, especially for C# or GDScript if you really want to, but not going to take a while. But again, I am actively just impatient, so yeah, there we go. Look at it all being documented. Whoa. I knew eventually I'd come back and use this as well. That's my movement stuff. Sweet lord, it's still taking its time. Okay. Do load the indexing, please. Okay, time manager. There we go. So this was a really, really simple little dumb time manager that I made. Can I? Let's just do this. There we go. Like really simple, right? Just here's your minutes, seconds, hours, days. Here is the custom time step for the game. Storage for the actual time. Setting the time manager as this inside of a game data folder, which is just a singleton. More or less, it's just a static class. But yeah, in process, like I am incrementing the time by the delta times the time step, which then gives me my own unique time back. After that, or a sign is cut. Oh, that's cool. That's fair. That's an interesting way of doing it. I just kind of did the numbers thing. That was pretty much it. And then yeah, this, and then finally this, this is the specific thing I actually wanted to show off, which is a event system based off of the current time. You just check. Now this is a problem because if the time moves a bit too quickly, then it's going to be angry, or it's going to miss, which means you need to run the check about 2 to 3 times to actually make sure the event goes through. And there are probably better ways of doing that, but it works. Look at that documentation. Nice. But yeah, with a time system already being made, I don't really need to implement much more on top of that for this. I will just need to convert it from C# to GDScript. Random generation of fertility on tiles can be done quite easily. The rest of it's just primarily visual and data storage. Other than animals, animals are pretty much going to be the only AI in the game that actually do something. I think this is very doable. Be fine. The only problem I can see myself running into with this is I've worked on most of this stuff before, so it should actually not be too bad. I'll start doing things like visual shaders. Shaders. Shader magic. Yeah, no, this should be fine. Okay, so that means next step is going to be doing my other favorite thing. Where are you? Obsidian. Oh, yeah, did I check this? Log. Hey, packages moved to Donna A, that's cool. Dev shot, 4 point. We got. Sorry for the, flashbang on the screen. Jolt's getting proper integration. Pretty cool. We start with a simple prototype or running directly into hours of painting stuff. I always start with a prototype. Like I will build out a very quick, very rough prototype of something deeply, something that I actually want. See if I can see how it feels and see what it's missing, and then when I actually start building the proper game, I will just work on it like that. Now, going from one to the other is not too hard. sometimes you want to start from scratch. If you're going from prototype to base, sometimes you could just start implementing on top of the prototype. Realistically speaking, with how I program, I will create the prototype and then restart it from scratch. That way I know exactly what I need and where I need it and how much of a thing I need. Yes, de facto thing E. Yeah, it is now integrated as part of Godot. That's really cool. Final piece in place of moving Godot Sharp library. Oh, that's going to be so nice. .NET 8 will improve scene tree editor performance. That's pretty good. Documentation tooltips. Ah, yeah. So this is actually something I was just showing off in Rider. Rider does this for your own custom documentation. So it's nice to see good, like GD actually doing this as well. 8 shadow masks for light maps. Oh, that's cool. That's going to be a performance saver. 3D translation sensitivity, ruler mode for 3D. Oh, that's so big. It's so big. It's so simple, yet it's so big. So compile on 3D. Thing. New ability to create a new inherited scene from code. Oh, no, that's nice. That's one of those little things that you don't think about. And then at some point it just kind of happens and you're like, why can't I do this? That's really cool. Indicator for rubber, allow dragging specific folders in this file system doc. Also execute sooner on editing errors were found. Cool. Very modular operation. That's just useful. Why stuff? All text types as where was there? Visual thumbnails generation. Cool. Input stuff. Plugin exports or use of plugins. I need to show people how to make some plugins. Plugins are fun. Blend distance. Pretty cool. Well, that's very nice. It's nothing too major, not really, but it's really nice. Like, ooh, avoid error spam when shaders failed to compile. That's actually okay. No, that one's actually pretty big. That. Yeah. If you've ever made a shader and ran into 15,000 errors, you know the pain. Other than that, it's not half bad. Mind you, I didn't check Dev 6 either, did I? Like, I haven't looked at Dev 6. Uh, Oh, camera previews. Oh, color coordination for debugging. Code library. Ooh. To allow domains outside. File directories. Selection scale. Show primitive measures of capable behavior. Okay, yeah, no, okay, so the next actual release for this, like 4.4, is going to be and it's going to be really nice. Okay, that's cool. Ah, look at that Obsidian opened. That's nice. This. Let's create a new canvas. Let's add a card. Just add a bunch of random cards dot around for a sec. Right. Over to the next step of how I like to put this stuff together. I just align left. There we go. Hey, how you doing? My middle. No. Line left. Where is the separation button? Excuse me. Distribute vertically. Okay, that's just gonna. That should be all of them. Yup. Poking out 2.5D game idea. Oh, that's really cool. When you say poking, have you actually got some work done on it? Like I'm, as of right now, just doing some game design document stuff. Getting a fun little doc ready so I can just get a game ready for some itch things. That, yes. I misspelled. Ah, I realize the Spires Clan game represent for the that is running. Grab my alt 3D. That's really cool. This is why, like, I said this to a few people now. Just making other programs can, or making other small games can really help with the game that you actually want to make. You learn something every single time. It's nice. I will remember that E. It is cold. Like, it is way too cold here. We woke up and the apartment was like. Yesterday it was like 16 degrees, which is too cold for me. Like, I live in a 21-degree state. The snow through the window in my back. I can only imagine. We haven't had snow yet. We've just had ice, and it's miserable. But snow's one of those things. It's very pretty, and then it's not. You know, it's very pretty, and then it's just too cold. Okay. Probably going to be sticking with A Sprite for this because A Sprite's the easy one. A Sprite. Game property, you need a good back in the winter for. I can imagine. I can imagine. I don't even need these. How Canadian folks deal with it? Me neither. That just seems like hell. Like, it genuinely just seems like hell. I can't deal with the cold. I can't deal with snow. England's only been getting hotter. Like, every summer, it's been getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So I've been enjoying it more and more. But it means the winters have actually been getting colder. I don't know how that happens, but sure. Okay, next thing on top of this is going to be adding a. Where is it? Create group. There we go. Get a basic game loop down. I'm gonna have to make this differently. This was the other one that I worked on a couple of days ago. This is a fun little tower defense thing, which I'm still currently working on. This is actually really cool. 2 sessions making it went over the top thumbnails and names. That's really cool. Keep it up. Like keep at it. Like that's just good. Good for the sanity, if anything. It's what I've really enjoyed about this. Else is good for the sanity is coffee. It's around that time I go and make some coffee. Dang, those codings. Yeah, there you go. Have fun with it. That's the thing. Just have fun with it. Reminds me, I check that one. That one. And OBS things on the side. Yay for multi-streaming. I am really afraid of how large the recording for this is going to be because my new plan was to record and stream at the same time, and my poor computer is already struggling with that. It is already struggling with that. Streaming plus recording, yeah. It's full an experience. Like computer wise, like power wise, my computer's fine. Hard drive space wise, it's very much not. I have 3 hard drives and they're mostly all full. So at some point the recording is gonna just probably cut. The stream should be fine, but the recording might just stop. That's fun. Especially since I plan on doing like Twitch streams for around 6 hours, dev streams for around 2. So we'll see. We'll see. If things explode. $10-hour dev stream last time. Goddamn. Yeah, no, it's one of those things, isn't it? Where it's like you can just kind of get carried away with it. Me and a friend of mine did a test stream. Like I was doing a little test stream because I wanted to see how my computer handles streaming games. We ended up going for just over 12 hours. It was experience. 6 is a good number for you. Bad code in the last 2 hours. Yeah, I tend to stick to just 2 hours. Like 2 hours of dev is usually enough. Do that every day and it adds up quite a bit. Sometimes I'll go for maybe 4, but 2 hours is pretty much good for me. Other than that, I either have other things to do or other things to work on. This should be fun. This is the thing. So this game is going to be a little project for itch, right? I want to get it out within a month. It's like I would like to try and do that. So one thing I like to do with this stuff is go, hey, what do I actually feel like I can learn or improve whilst working on this? And kind of have a focus on that. Improving as a dev is kind of the big thing with this. Sound effects I'm usually pretty good with. But I've been doing for so long. Like slot and the data storage stuff. That's like primarily the thing that's going to be a pain for me, I think. I'll be doing this in a very dumb, wacky way. But it is time for me to take a quick 2 to 3 minute break. I am going to go and make some coffee and sort out my lighting situation because it's very dark. Actually, I could do that. For any of you that are watching in full screen, please watch your eyes as it gets very bright very quickly. Oh, sweet God. Okay, so that's one side of the lighting done. Let's fix the other. Look at that. Lights. God. I just might say not dark enough. Hey, I like my IDEs and pretty much everything on my computer dark. Sadly for cameras, it needs to be light. That is actually too bright. That's better. Yes, coffee time. So I will actually be back in 2 to 3 minutes. See you in a second. Alright. Go back. So, game loop. That's kind of what I want to work on now. Get a rough thought of whatever the hell I plan on doing with this. So, let's just do hello type. Oh, okay, that was very unhappy for a second. There you go. This is what I like doing. This is already immediately giving me a gap. Yeah, this is already immediately giving me a gap in things. So there needs to be something different or something additive. Like something that you can do to spend time here. Of course, there's going to be animals and things like that, so... Well, that's actually the thing, isn't it? If I plan on adding some incremental systems to this, then waiting technically isn't the worst option. But from a very, very rough, shallow game loop, it's not bad. It's got the basic mechanics of, hey, here's a farming simulator, go. Oh, I'm gonna have to do some dumb things with, like, props. I can already feel it. It's not that I have to, it's that I'm going to want to. Definitely going to want to. God damn. My brain can never just be simple. It's just like, hey, let's do more complicated things. Why not? Oh, sneezes. And me. Worst possible thing in the world is a sneeze. Um, See, this is why games like Stardew Valley have other things to do, whether it's dungeons or people to talk to. Like, you have to fill that void, that gap between planting a crop and it growing, especially since it's your primary source of income in that game. So why fishing mini games and things like that exist. So some form of way, like some way of just earning time. So that's kind of the gap that I'm having at the moment, right? Where you've got the general game loop, which is this, but this needs to be expanded massively. This wait slash do thing needs to be expanded a lot more for it to be entertaining slash fun. Otherwise, you're just clicking a few tiles and then walking away for 5 minutes and then clicking a few tiles. You know. called? Animal. I need to Google this, make sure I'm doing this correctly. Practice of raising and caring for animals. Yep, that is the correct word. Okay. Oh, am I spelling it correctly? Yes. So we can do animal husbandry. This being annoying. Like, that's just... none of that is centered, I'm just looking at that weird, okay. So we could do animal husbandry, we could do, say, a fishing minigame. I've never actually created a fishing minigame before, and I can tell you that my partner hates most of them. So, animal husbandry, fishing minigame. There a third that I want to go for? No, I think I'm going to be smart and just be like, hey, this is all of the time spenders at the moment. If I add anything more to this, I'm going to start being creepy with the scope. This fits roughly within the base mechanics that I've kind of broken down here. Having this talk with somebody recently about how important game design documents actually are. Like, this might seem really, really small, and it is, but it's small on purpose, right? I'm going to be able to look back at this and be like, oh, I know exactly what I want in this game, and nothing more, nothing less. It really allows you to get that scope issue under control. He's perfect, and why is this one not? Why do you do this to me? Okay, that's better. Sorts out my OCD a little bit. I can feel myself, like, I feel like I'm missing something from this. Every time I do, like, a document like this, there's always that one key piece missing, and it just irks me, because there's something here missing. I don't know what it is. Like, I can picture this whole loop relatively well. This might just be the point where I go, okay, let's just go and make the prototype for it. And art. Actually, that's a fun thing. I can show this off whilst I'm here. Let's do this. Let's go to my desktop. How do you spell this again? Yeah. Create.gd ignore folder. Open up Sprite, save all of the assets or art that I want to in this folder, import it into Godot, and Godot won't actually look at it. Be nice. So what I can do here is create a new 64 by 64. That should more or less be large enough for the grids that I want to make, or for the tiles that I want to make. If I do like one of these tiles per, I think it's just 8 by 8. So let's just do some of this really basic, simple stuff. Bonk. Let's add some color variation to it. Bonk. Bonk. Different colors here. Go this way, make it really vibrant. There we go. So that's going to be the grass tiles that I can use. The next one will be the just do dirt tiles. Let's go. Ah, it's way too red. Not like that. Yeah, that's better. Too vibrant. Yeah, all I'm doing here is basically going, okay, these are the types of tiles that I want to use. So I've got grass, I've got dirt. That's pretty much it until I start doing some proper art. I could do some water tiles, I suppose, just in case I want them. Oh, that's it. After this, I can more or less just have one line of tiles when I'm painting them myself, and I can randomize which tile gets placed, which will be very nice. I'll add some light texturing to the game, which is good, especially for just placeholder things. Save. Yeah. Save the Sprite package with it, because that just makes my life happy. Page tiles. File, export, sprite sheet, output. Okay, borders, I want trim. Yep, export, done. So now I have this just made, just done. I don't need to think about this for a little while now. So let's go and do some other tiles. Do this on a different, no. So I could do some Lord. I could now do some, I don't know, just do some little bits of grass or something like that. That would definitely not be a bad idea. Knock it down to a 1 pixel and let's make it this kind of darker green. A little bit more towards blue. Yeah, that'd do. I don't like that. Immediately don't like that. This is the thing, I am definitely not an artist. I'm somebody who likes to try. Oh. Is adding grass going to be necessary? Probably not, and I can probably do it through a graphics shader after I've messed around with it enough. So the only other thing that we're going to need is probably... You know what I need to add to this? I do actually need to add this. That's fun. I do not know how people talk and draw at the same time. Like my brain shuts off when I'm doing this. It'll do. That needs to be much darker. Already an issue with this. I want to be able to make it so it can relatively infinitely repeat. Yeah, I'll do. Now I want to make it brighter. Let's shift that a little bit more correctly. I don't like that. That's annoying for this. Yeah, it'll do. Yeah, that'll do. One of those things where it's like, at some point, my art will improve. All I've got to do is keep doing it. I really don't like that's a no. Way down, basically the same color as that, but it'll do. Alright, that will do. Those are my soils and my soil types done. Dear mother of God, that broke me. That made my brain do things. Okay. Okay, so next thing is this is 64 by 64. That will actually be 32 by 32. Edit, right layer, canvas, canvas size. Actually put some of my pixel art skills that I learned a very long time ago to use. Make a little shovel icon. And we are going to do this with some mirroring. At 2 pixels. Stop that. That's shovel-like. It'll do. Yeah, it's shovel-like. Let's add some color for the handle. There you go, one somewhat terrible shovel. uh, I love pixel art. It For an icon, that is, yeah, it'll do. Especially for an icon, that will not be too bad. That looks a bit better. Yeah. File, save. EH. Cool. Shovel. Yeah, I'm gonna need to actually not trim those cells. Okay. Export. Done. Okay. So we now have some, more or less everything we need to get the project going. Art-wise, right? You don't need much to actually start working on the project. Some basic tiles, and then like this icon, little clickable icon that's going to be like, hey, you are now using the shovel. Maybe designing some UI stuff might not be a bad idea, but that's getting a bit too far. Yeah, I think the next dev stream that I do, I'm going to actually start working on this a little more in roughly the right amount of time. So I'm going to be cutting it here. Next time we will, like next dev stream specifically, we'll be going through and building this out properly. I'm going to get as much work done as I can on this within a month, and whatever happens, as long as it's playable, as in you can launch it and it won't immediately crash, going up on Edge. So this will be fun. Make sure to stick around if you want to give me a hand and stuff with this as well. You know, input's always fun. But thank you for watching. I will see you probably in the next stream. Oh wait, actually, before I go, if you want to, I'm going to be like carrying on the stream over on Twitch. If you want to stick around for some gaming stuff, I'm over on Twitch. But for the dev stuff, that is cool. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next dev stream.